What's poppin', guys? It's your boy UltimateSpeedster, and today we're doing a little different type of video. I'm with DaRealAlmond. Introduce yourself, man.
Hey guys, my name's Almond. I'm a content creator on YouTube. I play a little bit of COD, a little bit of Wiz. Been playing Among Us, playing a bunch of different content on my channel, and just providing it.
He's a legend out here. Make sure y'all check him out. I'm gonna leave a description down below. I'm gonna leave his link in the description. So yeah, make sure y'all check him out. Our first topic that we actually gonna talk about is the 5 worst worlds that we ever seen in our lives in Wizard101 that I wish would be approved on. What's your top worst 5?
I think for me personally, I think the worst one I had, and there's a specific reason, and it's actually Azteca. And it's not, well, I mean, there is a lot of defeat and collect quests in Azteca, but it's mainly on a certain boss. If you guys watch me by any chance, I talk about Belloc a lot. And when he came back in a specific mission later on in the worlds, I was like, no, please don't spam raw, because how he works is if you don't hit him in a specific turn, or just every turn, if no one's hitting him, he spams raw constantly. So when he came out, or in that world general, I was just like, no, please. Like, I was stuck on that boss for so long, especially for soloing. It is a pain. Just a lot of Belloc. So that's just, every time I think of Azteca, I don't even think of Morgantha, I don't even think of Mouse, I don't think of any of that. I think of Belloc and just the defeating collect quest. But there is a lot of cool aspect to the sun spells and everything like that, which is still pretty decent.
So that's your 5th one?
Then, no, that was like my main one that I hated. That was like the main one I hated.
Oh, so that was like your top number 1.
Oh yeah. Second one, I feel like it would be a side world, and that would actually be the whole Pigswick Academy type stuff.
You didn't like
I feel
Wisteria?
No, we'll get there. We'll get there. So the reason why I say Pigswick Academy, I feel like that world is just, why is that there? You don't learn anything from it. You get no spells. Usually, like, every world gives you a spell. We don't even get a spell from there. What was the whole point of going over there? There's literally no reason behind that world. You don't even have to do it. I haven't even done that world because it just seems kind of useless. There's nothing that you get from it. I mean, if you really care about the 10 XP that you get per quest, go for it. But to me, I'm just like, bro, I don't want to do that. Like, there's no point. But that is definitely my number 2. If they added a spell, that would be like down the list, because we get a spell from it. That would be cool. Pigswick spell, I wouldn't mind that. But definitely one of my most hated worlds. Third one, honestly, this is like opinion based, but I feel like I either go Chrysalis or Imperia. And I'll probably put them 3 and 4. I'll probably put them together. And the reason being is Chrysalis, that was when the time where a lot of bosses were kind of difficult in the game. And because their health actually made bosses a little bit more difficult. I mean, now we're having bosses that are kind of pretty easy. Not many of them have cheats. But the health on those bosses in Chrysalis were kind of annoying. Like 22k, 20k. But then you go to like Mirage or like Imperia, 10k, 8k, 9k. And I'm just like, what? What happened to the health gap? We literally went from Morgantha to fighting bosses that have like low HP. So I think it ties in. And Imperia is kind of annoying in certain scenarios where it comes to defeat and collect, or just even some certain bosses. But I think I would have to put them in like somewhere in the same tier, because they're not too, they are kind of annoying, but the health, they all have their own aspect, whether it be health, whether it be pierce, because the amount of pierce that they have is like 20 pierce, 25. And as a storm, they just pierce me all the way through. So I have like no resist. So that's why I would have to like put them in the same tier as like 3 and 4. But for my 5th one, as in like, not too bad. But obviously, because the worst one for me is Azteca, but not too bad would probably be maybe Caramel. I think maybe Caramel, and I know it's a cool world. I love the aspect of it.
I can see,
but,
to be honest.
But,
I can see it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, I love the aspect of it. I love the the spell elements that they added, everything like that. But I feel like it was very underwhelming. It was kind of like a wasted world, in my opinion. We do learn a lot towards the end, but the beginning is just like what was the whole point of this? Like, why are we in like some sweet place learning about sweets this, sweets that, candy bears, all that? Like, I was just like, come on, like, what's the whole point of this? And then, I mean, the ending is kind of good, but when it comes to like the storyline of it, I was just like, this is just kind of, it's whatevs. I'm just like, why am I doing this world? But those are my top 5.
Well, I can see on the caramel part, because we literally just stopped the economic crisis. That's all it really was. The workers were just angry about who was the boss, and the boss was just being a terrible boss. That's all it was, not giving them enough breaks. That's all the whole world was. until like the ending of it. You feel me? So that was the whole
Yeah.
problem. My top five worst. Number one, which I hate the most, will have to be Celestia. I can't stand that fishbowl planet. I really can't. Every time
Really?
I can't do it. I can't.
Honestly, it's not that bad though.
Yo, I just can't do it. Like, first of all, the swimming. I don't mind at first, but then it just becomes too much. I'm tired of the animation. I'm tired of everything sounding drowned out. And then it's like a little bit of far distances. I don't really see it. My second one, I really don't care for as much, is Grizzleheim / Wintertusk. I don't like it either for multiple reasons. For one, they keep calling me back multiple times. And it's just like, if you need me here on this world, just say that, bro. Like, I'll move here. Stop making me go all the way back home. Then Moral Ambrose be blowing up my phone saying Grizzleheim needs you again. I just left Grizzleheim last week. What else do they have? So I don't like that at all.
But don't you think you get spells from it though? Like that's the only good reason I say it's up there, because you actually get some decent spells from just doing the spells with Grizzleheim.
Yeah, and you get like the cool pets too from your school, but it's just the fact that they just keep like, if I would be in this world, man, just let me complete it all now. Let me just get rid of all the streets now. And then and there's a bit of walking I noticed because I just replayed it on my myth. And like the Ravenscar area, it's a lot of walking. It really is. And then the tower shields are ridiculous. The pull rate of the enemies is ridiculous. You got like no room to walk around the enemies in certain spots in Grizzleheim. A lot of spots, especially in the Wintertusk area.
Hopefully that world gets a revamp, like how Wizard City has its own like little revamp of all graphics. Hopefully Grizzleheim gets it, and then they can adjust some of the walkways so people can actually walk around in that world. Because you really can't. You get pulled from every angle in that world.
Now, another world I can't stand is Mirage. That desert. First of all, I already dealt with the desert. It's called Crocotopia. You feel me? I dealt with another desert. Now, I don't know, it just, this world was just too difficult for me. I had a tough time experiencing it. Did you? Was it tough for you?
As a storm, probably not. I'm gonna be for real, because I had my Darkmoor gear. I had like my whole Malister set, so I had a decent amount of resist, and I had resist pets, and at the time it just wasn't too difficult to me. I honestly enjoyed that world, to be honest.
And it's the fact that every boss will like cheat too. I'm like, bro, it's not even surprising that every boss cheats now. I'm like, every time I step into a boss fight, I'm like, okay, well, what kind of cheat do you do? Do you skip me every 5 rounds, or like what? Or do you like not let me have blades and shields? Like, well, what are you gonna do now? Like, a lot of bosses cheat in that world.
But I feel like if you can handle it, I mean, it's pretty simple. I like the cheats though in that world. They weren't to the point where it's like this is unbearable. It was completely fine to me. I mean, other than the Scorpion fight. But that was a little bit difficult in my opinion because, you know, he has a lot of cheats. He has his poison and everything like that. But all the other bosses, they had minor cheats. It wasn't too difficult. It's pretty easy to solo. But I do help out people here and there if they do need help with that.
But at the end though, I'm not gonna lie, I appreciated the old cop fight. I think that was a really cool fight, especially how he would like change the wheel and how he'll make it spin every couple turns. I think that was a really cool effect and spin on things, pun intended. I think that was a really cool feature that he did. I was like, oh, okay, shoot, you got that magic.
He was a fun boss.
The fourth word I couldn't stand is Mushu. Mushu is just ridiculous. I can't.
No, really?
Mushu, man, I can't do it.
Nah, you can't do my homeworld like that, bro. Dude, that world is fun. What do you mean?
Man, it's copy and pasted all over the place, man. All I see is grass.
Fine. It's fine. It's the cool aspect of samurais, ninjas, and everything, though.
Man, I can't do it, dude. All I see is literally copy and pasted grass, and then I gotta walk 20 yards. And the thing is, if I kill this enemy, right? If I kill the ill citizens, right? And I collected their spit or something, right? I give it to you. You made me go fight golems, and I come back to you and be like, oh, I need you to fight the ill people again. Because they coming back. I need you to fight, feed them and get their clothes or something like that. Like, bro, you couldn't have told me that when I went on the first mission? Like, why are you summoning me to go ahead and go back to fight these dudes again and again? I don't like that, John. I don't. I'll be like, why not just let me kill them all now?
I don't mind it, to be honest, because, you know, that how that world is portrayed, you know, there's a lot of people that are sick, you know, you gotta help out all these people. To me, I don't mind that. I think the only thing I can argue in Mushu that's actually it's a bit annoying is maybe the collect quest, because there is a lot of collect quests in that world as well.
And like the music, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the music. The combat music, I just got tired of. The music to me gets really repetitive. And music, I think, is a main factor. It's a huge factor for me in Wizard101. If they got some good music and a good world, that makes up a bit of a world for me, is the music. If I get jamming while I'm defeating bosses and throwing meteor strikes at folks, I'm having a good time. But if I'm not rocking with the music, or if I heard it too many times, I'm not in the right mindset.
Yeah, I mean, the music was pretty good in my opinion. I mean, but I feel like kind of differentiate it a little bit more in every area. I feel like that needs more bass, or needs like more different tunes, because it kind of felt like Mushu did have like one song. That's about it. To me, that's how I felt like.
Number 5, I didn't like, and I just replayed it, so now I realize why I never thought of this world. It's Zafaria. I can't do Zafaria either.
Why is that?
It's like, when I went there, it's a lot of defeat and collect. I was like, are you serious? And you'll fight the same dudes. It's like what I said about Mushu. It's literally the same dudes. I swear, bro. I fought the moon freaking rhinos or whatever they are, right? At least 3 times. And I had to collect 3 different things from them. It's like, why didn't you just tell me this while I was fighting them now? Instead of making me go back. I just, no, that was the main issue for me.
I can understand that. Honestly, I'll agree with you on that. I'll put that as my number 6. I'll agree with you.
that no wonder I didn't go back to that world, man. Now, when you said Azteca, I liked Azteca. I really did. I'm not gonna lie.
I just think of Belloc. Belloc is one pain of a boss, in my opinion.
And I liked the Chrysalis. It was on my top 10 of liked worlds. Chrysalis and Imperial. Imperial is actually my number 1 favorite.
Really? Mine was Mushu.
Yours was Mushu?
Yeah.
Our next topic is your favorite main villain out of the big 3, the big major threats, the main arc villains, between being Malistaire, Morgeth, or Old Cobb. Which one was your favorites?
So when it comes to me, I think every boss has their own little aspect, their own little story. They have their own little cheats, they have all that type of stuff, like when it comes to like learning about them. But I feel like I enjoyed Old Cobb the most, and the reason being is because if Malister or Morgant had cheats at the time, because obviously when those bosses were released, they didn't have cheats at those times. I think maybe Morgant they did, but they was like slowly introducing them. But Old Cobb was actually in full effect, and he actually had more cheats. You got to spin the circle, all that type of stuff. You even had a minion that would take like 99% of the damage that you even hit him with. So the whole aspect of that fight, when you fight him in Mirage, I enjoyed a lot. And his spells were pretty cool. I think he even had a Shadow Storm Owl, if I remember. And when I first saw it, I was like, wait, what? This is actually something different, And he's actually Storm, so he even did so much damage. And even his glow bugs do a lot of damage as well. So just that fight in general, and just learning the whole story behind Old Cobb and Grandfather Spider and Raven, I enjoyed that a lot. But if we're talking about favorite, like just boss in general, other than like the main story, I think if we go back to Morgant, one of her warlords, or you call them, like basically she had all these warlords that protected each part of Chrysalis. My favorite one was Ghost Dog, because of his whole storyline. This man's a samurai. He got stomped by elephants. He fought like a bunch of people in Mushu. This man like literally fought like a living legend, but yet he was corrupted by Shadow. He knew a lot of poison, stuff like that. But I like his whole story about how far he came, and yet he became a warlord. His whole outfit is cool. Just that would be my favorite boss. But if we're talking main story, Old Cobb by a long shot.
Old Cobb, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so my favorite villain between is kind of a hard decision for me personally. Malistaire, he's nostalgic, the big bad. He came back multiple times, and each time he came back, I wasn't disappointed. Another, Morgeth, give her props, because she actually stopped the world, or at least destroyed a world that we couldn't save. So her being able to do that was memorable. And Old Cobb, him just being the villain and causing the mayhem that he did, which was really cool. So that's why it was really tough for me to make this decision. You feel me? So if I had to choose though, maybe it's Old Cobb, because his story, I like this story a lot with Imperia and Polaris, and even though I didn't like Mirage, his arc was pretty cool. That was the only really arc I really didn't mind that much, even though I really didn't like Mirage. I really didn't mind that arc compared to the other ones. Even arc 1 was nostalgic. I think arc 3 was better. especially how it ended and how Arc 3 began with Polaris after the graduation. I think it was a very awesome move in to starting the arc and us going to Polaris and starting it and getting things moving. I really like how they transitioned that and how it freaking ended with us being the Paradox and us going against the Storm Titan. One of the best fights, one of my top 10 fighting moments, to be honest, I believe.
So when you talk about the Storm Titan, I want to bring this up. Do you mean the Storm Titan when we fight the Trident, or with all those cheats, or are you talking about the one that gets fused with Ether?
The one fused with Ether, and like you become the full Paradox mode. You know, you get a Super Saiyan mode, and you just blow up. You know, and also like the dream sequence where you fought evil Ambrose. That whole thing right there was pretty cool. It really was. I enjoyed that as well. It was pretty cool. That's why I like Arc 3 a lot, and that's why I put Old Cobb there. He was a lot, and then he even made Grandmother Raven show her true colors. Cause we always seen her as being just, you know, the good one watching over us, you know, making sure we all right out here, you know, being the dialogue, the narrator. But nah, she got her shady stuff too. That was different. Yeah. And so our last topic, guys, for the video is dream villain. Basically, this what's your villain that you would like to see pop up, that you would think would be a major threat, and what you would like to see going on?
I honestly, this one was kind of a bit difficult when I first heard this question, because there's many ways you can take this, because if we're talking about dream villain after the whole paradox thing, like how we're fighting ourselves, if we're talking about a whole new arc after arc 3, which is or I technically arc 4, which is us fighting ourselves, if we're talking about like arc 5, I would probably want something along the signs of maybe it's either it comes into two topics, either something related to a dungeon or just even a boss that reminds of Mushu, some type of person who came back from Mushu and just was fully corrupted. He got infused with shadow. He became fully corrupted. He maybe Old Cobb even knew him. Maybe he's like one of Old Cobb's sons that he even forgot. Something like along those lines. Or they can even do something related to Ambrose. I want to see something that's an evil Ambrose or something like that, like how we had like in when we fought like technically the upside down version of Ambrose with the whole like cheating type aspect. I want to see that type of boss but remastered and becoming an actual, you know, story thing that we actually fight. Like I want to fight like an evil version of Ravenwood. I want to fight all of our professors, everything like that. I want to see them all corrupt in some sort of way, and we have to fight them, and then the main boss would be Ambrose. So Ambrose would be like the main boss, and then he's like, I guess you could say disciples / warlords would be all the professors. I would want something like that.
That's really good. Actually, when you said evil Ambrose, I have something kind of similar in mind. Now, my dream villain, I've been thinking about this for a super long time, for days and weeks. I actually meant to make a video on it, but I said, why not talk about it now? My dream villain. Now, this could either be the last arc in the game or the next arc or whatever. King's Eye, if you're picking up on this, I think this is a good idea. All right. I think we, you know, get a call to this world, you know, gotta save the world, yada, 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 you know, they in trouble. We go there and somebody is hunting after us, right? And it's basically like a bounty hunter. And we confront the bounty hunter and we wipe him out, right? We just think it's one time little thing, you know, and then we go to the next world. Gotta see the next one. Boom, another bounty hunter pops up, right? You're getting kind of suspicious, right? And they're getting stronger, right? They're not being as easy as the next one. And so then another one pops up on the next world. And so then when you defeat him, you see him drop a contract, right? Assassination contract. And it's for you, but it's by this guy named the General, or like something dangerous, right? You don't really know who this is, but you take it to the Arcanum, you know, to figure out what's going on, see there's history on him, and it's not, and you even take it to Moral Ambrose. Now, what I want this to do is, it happens that it's Moral Ambrose's son, you know, is Moral Ambrose's kid. And how I want it to go is that Moral Ambrose, you know, he used to be from Avalon, right?
Yeah, I heard about that.
So I want it to be like he had a family, but then somebody like tried to kill his family or whatever, and he thought his family was dead, but it wasn't, and his son's still alive, but the mother's dead, or something like that. But then that guy sees us all around, and we close with Malice, you feel me? We close with homie. So the dude thinks that Moral Ambrose replaced him with us. So that's why he's after us so hard. And then I just want the villain to be super dangerous. I want him to have like his own army. Like, you know how in Pirate 101, if you, like, you say you played it, right? Or at least a little bit?
Yeah, I played a little bit.
So you know, there's the Armada, basically just like
Yeah.
this army. I want him to have his own army, the biggest army in the spiral, right? And I want
Okay.
him to even at one point like destroy worlds at one point, just like wipe them out. Like we get captured or something, and he's talking to us, and he just be wiping out worlds in the background. You feel me? He be like, "Go ahead and wipe out Celestia. Go ahead and wipe out Zafaria," right? And he just wiping them folks down. And then even when you go to the world gate, when you go to try to click on the world, it'll be X'd out. So it says like, you know, you can't go to that world because he just like destroyed it or some junk, or at least for right now. So and like you could fix the worlds later on or whatever, rebuild them by this charm or whatever. But I think it'll be a really good feature for that to happen. And I just want really a major threat to where it'll be dangerous out here. Worlds are literally being destroyed, like how Morgeth destroyed Azteca, and how he has a whole army on his side. And who knows, he probably could bring back more Geth, or you know, bring some crazy junk back, because he been seeing us for like a long time. Like he been in the background, you feel me? He's been there seeing us the whole time, and seeing us travel through all these worlds to get stronger. So he's been getting stronger on his own.
I think that's a really good idea. Definitely, I think that can actually be viable, and I feel like having the idea of worlds being destroyed and then having them X'd out, like you cannot go over there for a certain period of time, that would actually be really cool. And it's not hard to, I mean, it's still pretty hard, but I mean, it's very possible to reconstruct the world because we literally have Bartleby, we have Old Cobb now, like literally on our side technically, and we have Grandmother Raven on our side technically. So it's very possible that they can do stuff like this.
Right. So that's what I think of the world's going down, and I just because the world, like the game itself, they try not to be on super serious topics or like make it seem like so dark, but the game's getting more surrounded by older audiences. For example, I'm like 18 now, right? I'm getting older and still enjoy the game. And I heard like the statistics, their stats is some people be 25 to 35 playing the game still. So I think it's a little bit of time for a more mature storyline, you know, kind of more darker stuff.
Yeah, honestly, I would enjoy that too, to be honest. I would want to see. I still think I would want to see more people like I don't know if you remember, but like we fought Duncan Grimwater, which a lot of people didn't expect. And that I think that was like the early points of Mirage when we actually fought him. We don't know if there's more people like him in Wiz City, and I would want to see more people turn corrupt that we thought were like the really good people. For all we know, like for all we know, Diego, the Duel Master, can be something that we don't even know about. Yet he's been with like everybody like the whole entire time. Something like that could happen. It's very possible.
Like he was like a secret agent on the low or something like that.
Yeah, we don't know what a lot of people are hiding.
Like we just learned that the Cabal wasn't even that bad of people. They were just chilling mainly. You know, they were trying to do their own little thing. We thought they were the main villains out here.
Yeah, that's very surprising.
But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe and tap that notification bell for all the fresh and crispy Wizard101 and Power101 content. Make sure you check out DaRealAlmond. He's a legend. I'll leave, again, his link down in the description below. And make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Discord, all down in the description below. There'll be contests going on in Discord, so make sure y'all join those. Don't forget I go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's fun out there. I'll see y'all later. Anything else to say, Almond?
Now, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And yeah, have a good one.
Peace.